Okay, so it's fantastic. We've got our second winner today for the Old El Paso Share Your Recipe competition. If you haven't put your entries in, put them in now. Alison Lee did, and lo and behold, she's won a $400 Old El Paso hamper, and I'm going to cook her recipe right now. If you're jealous of Alison, you want to get in there and have your recipe cooked, you want your hamper, well, it's so simple. Do it now. Visit Old El Paso Amigos, submit your recipe, and hey, you too could be having your recipe made and sitting at home cooking up a storm with Old El Paso. So yeah, don't delay. We're going to be cooking a really cool recipe today. I love this idea. It's Ali's Old El Yum Fest. We're going to need 500 grams of porterhouse steak. I've got a tomato here and just diced it up. A cucumber, diced up as well. About 150 mils or so of sour cream. I've got some shredded cheese, 150 grams. I like cheese, so if you want to put a little bit more in there, I'm not going to blame you. About half a head of lettuce that we've shredded up finely. Maybe about 150 mils of cream, a couple of tablespoons of green peppercorns, and I think that's about it. Oh, hang on. The Old El Paso Jumbo Taco Kit. And what we're going to be using from this bad boy today is we're going to be using the U-shaped tacos. We're also going to be using some of the taco seasoning that's in here, and we're going to be using the taco sauce as well. The great thing about these kits is, of course, it all comes in one kit, so you don't have to go out and buy the salsa and the seasoning. It's all in here, one-stop shop. First thing we're going to do is we're going to get the meat prepared. Pretty simply, it's just got a layer of fat around the side, which we're going to remove. Nice and easily, just take the fat off the side here. So we're going to cook these in a minute, but before we cook them, we'll just get a little bit of salt on them. My little trusty thing here, so we'll just get some salt going. Okay, so we've got our meat kind of prepared, ready to go. Before we get started, the sour cream is going to be seasoned with some of Old El Paso's taco seasoning, so I think that we should do that first. Get our trusty Old El Paso Jumbo Taco Kit out, open her up, and taco seasoning. We will add a little bit of this, put about a half a teaspoon in there. Let's see how that's going to kind of look. It smells pretty good to me, actually. Let's have a little taste. That's taco flavored, all right, so that's ready to go. Okay, I think it's time that we actually start cooking these steaks and getting this bad boy going. We'll actually want to get this pretty hot. Put a little bit of oil in there. Yeah, just wait till it gets a little bit hot, get the oil around the pan. Let's get these bad boys down. So our steaks are sizzling away there. As you can see at the bottom, you can already see them starting to cook. These are pretty thin, so I would think a minute, minute 15, minute 30 max per side would probably do the job. Remember, we're going to rest these steaks afterwards. What the normal rule of thumb is however long you cook your steak, you rest it for half that period of time. You normally put it under some foil or in a warm place. It'll keep cooking while it's resting. The juices, any excess will come out, and you'll have a really wonderful piece of meat when it's done. Okay, so we've got our plate here. Going to get our steaks down. Now we're going to save these pan juices, so don't throw your pan out or put it in the sink or whatever. Leave that alone, it's a little bit smoking now. I'm going to put this over here. I'm going to get some aluminium foil, and I'm just going to cover these up and let it rest so we can get these bad boys ready to go. So we've got our steaks resting right now. Let's make the sauce. We're going to make a green peppercorn sauce. It's pretty simplistic, but like with everything, even with only a few ingredients in there, make sure that you're giving them the respect that they deserve and, cooking them well. We're just going to need some green peppercorns, cream's here, a little bit of cream, and our little secret ingredient, the juice of the pan from the steak. So we've got our juices in there. I'm going to add about 150 mils, just keep that temperature down a little bit. And to that, we're going to add some peppercorns. Now I'm just going to crush these up a little bit. Not too much, but just give them a little tiny mash. I reckon, again, with this, everything's to taste. Some people might find this flavour a bit full on, so, just be careful with it. But you can always add more, just remember that. It's hard to subtract, but it's very easy to add. Now what we're looking for here is obviously for this to reduce and become a kind of a sauce consistency, which is a bit thicker than what we've got right now. This will also give a bit of time for the flavours to infuse. A little flavour. There you go. I think that's about right. So, not long to go now. All we need to do is cook our tacos. We've got our Old El Paso Jumbo Taco Kit here. Just get these out. So just make sure always when you're cooking your taco shells, just put them up like this so they don't actually collapse on themselves. Learnt that one the hard way, unfortunately, when I was a kid trying to make tacos for myself, and of course, that closed off and I had totally flat ones. These are going to go into the oven. It's preheated to 180 degrees and they're going to go in for 5 minutes. Our tacos are cooking away. I think it's time for us to, slice up our meat in preparation for our impending tacos. We've rested these for a couple of minutes. Let's have a look at that. That's perfect and medium, as you can see in there. So we're just going to slice these up thinly. Okay, we've got everything together. We've just taken our taco shells out of the oven. They've been cooking for about 5 minutes at 180 degrees. So it's time to put our taco together and feed the hungry masses that are out there. Ali, I love your recipe. I think it's fantastic. I'm going to do a couple little changes just so you can see what the ingredients are that are in there. I think Ali called for some lettuce to be on top. No offense, Ali, your recipe's right, but I'm just changing it a little bit right now. So we're just going to put a little bit of lettuce in the bottom here. A little bit of cheese as well. Well, hey, a little bit of cheese. I think that's a little bit of a sin to say a little bit of a cheese. Some of this wonderful cucumber for that wonderful fresh crunch. Some tomato here. Okay, so there's two variations on Ali's Old El Yum Fest. The first one is with the peppercorn sauce. So we're going to put in some of our steak right now. Just lay that over the top. We're going to do the one with the pepper sauce first of all. I'm going to drizzle this all over the top. This looks great. Just a little bit more of this tomato. I think that first taco is ready to go. So we've done variation one with the pepper sauce. This is number two, and it's a bit sweet and sour, which is a pretty cool idea. So we're going to build this the same way, but first, before we do, it actually also calls for the last component of our jumbo taco kit, the taco sauce. Taco in hand again. Some lettuce, a little bit of cheese, put a little bit of cucumber in here, a little bit of tomato, some of this wonderful porterhouse steak. Look at this, we're going to grab a bit of this sour cream here. Boy, Ali, I tell you what, this is a pretty decadent recipe you've made here. And our little final detail here, a little bit of taco sauce over the top. And there we go, our second taco done. Alison Lee, you went online, you shared your recipe with Old El Paso, and look what happened. You won a $400 Old El Paso hamper and Ali's Old El Yum Fest. It's been made right here, and now it's here forever, and everyone can make Ali's Old El Yum Fest. Put your entries in now. There's only a few weeks of the competition to go, and I want to see how you can twist your taco. Olé!